Tonight, we welcome back a former student who has risen to national prominence in the Republic of Bolivia, his native country. The Honorable Jorge Quiroga is Vice President of Bolivia, the youngest person elected to that position in the history of Bolivia. He earned his undergraduate degree in industrial engineering at our university in 1981 and an MBA from St. Edward's University in Austin. Before being elected last year to his current office, he served as Vice President for the Democratic National Action and was Vice President of Projects and Investments of the Commercial Bank of Bolivia. He was named Minister of Finance in 1992 and previously served as Vice Minister of the Public Investment and International Corporation and as an economic counselor for the Ministry of Foreign Relations. Please join me in giving a warm Fighting Texas Aggie welcome to the Honorable Jorge Quiroga.
Distinguished members of the Board of Regents, President of Texas A&M, members of the administration and faculty of this fine university, President of the Association of Former Students, graduating Aggies, ladies and gentlemen. The first thing I want to explain tonight is the reason why I have been invited to give this address. No, it is not the job that I currently hold. It is rather a comparison I provided to a large gathering in Houston during a seminar to promote energy investment in my country. I introduced the entire delegation that was with me, including each of their impressive academic backgrounds. We had a gentleman that had a Georgetown undergraduate degree, a London School of Economics graduate degree, and yet a third Harvard master's degree in taxation. This gentleman, deservedly so, I said, is the Undersecretary of Energy of Bolivia. I then, very humbly, noted that I had a Texas A&M engineering degree, and I was, of course, just the Vice President of Bolivia. I was just trying to set up the equivalence chart of the degree you're about to get tonight. I visit you here today as the proud son of one of the smartest people I have ever known, my mother, who never got a chance to enter college. But I also visit you as a proud father of 3 daughters who are somewhere in this audience, who will one day be following their dad's trail at this great university. They cannot, unfortunately, follow their mother's footsteps. My wife, who's here, made the mistake of going to UT. I'm sorry, TU, I forgot that. And of course, you know that I would never deprive my children from the opportunity of watching their school win the Big 12 championship. The reason I mention my parents and children is because I stand here tonight at roughly the halfway mark, halfway between the graduates on the floor and the parents in the stands, halfway between my own graduation date and my daughter's commencement. Old enough to reminisce, yet young enough to look ahead. Yes, old enough to remember the days spent on this campus between thermodynamics and the racquetball champion of the world dreams, between my duties as calculus teaching assistant and the hopes that if I led the College Station Soccer League in scoring, someone back home would let me try out for the World Cup. But while I was bouncing back at Texas A&M between books, friends, and sports, my country was going through 6 different presidents in the 3.5 years that I spent getting my degree. Soon thereafter, Bolivia was ravaged by hyperinflation to the tune of 28,000% per year. That made it cheaper back then to take a taxi than a bus. You see, in the bus you paid when you got in, and the taxi you paid when you got there, and back then inflation moved much faster than time. Today, things in my country are rather different. We are proud to have a very strong democracy, 5 constitutional presidential tenures, where each transfer of power has been from a party in government to a party in the opposition. We're also proud of a 13-year economic record of stability with low inflation, economic growth well above the regional average, and an open investment climate that is attracting more and more foreign and U.S. investment. But I said I'm young enough to look ahead at the challenges. Bolivia is moving to the 21st century with specific programs to generate higher economic growth rates, reduce the poverty which afflicts 7 out of 10 Bolivians, while at the same time reforming our judiciary and eliminating the production of drugs. We are also working to make Bolivia the vital heart of South America by developing energy, telecommunication, and infrastructure links to all our neighboring countries. We have plenty of Aggie help in this endeavor. Several prominent private and public sector leaders have received a Texas A&M education. A few have come here today to join me in welcoming the hundreds more who tonight have attained their own educational goals. Today's graduates are luckier than I was. You were able, in your stay here, to enjoy the George Bush Presidential Library, which I visited today for the very first time. It is up to the people of this country to rank this former president in his rightful historical place. As a young Bolivian who held key economic posts, including the Ministry of Finance, while President Bush led this great nation, I can tell you he was the best U.S. president Bolivia has ever had. The Bush initiative for the Americas helped my country in trade and debt relief to a degree that I'm certain even the former president could not have imagined. As Bolivian Vice President, I cannot make predictions on the U.S. 2000 presidential race. As an Aggie, I am truly concerned. I don't think, Dr. Bowen, that we can accommodate 2 George Bush presidential libraries on campus, but I sure think we can try. Now a special message to tonight's graduating Aggies. My country has very beautiful mountains, some towering well over 20,000 feet. I have climbed several of them, and the challenge is similar to the one you graduates face tonight. The beginning of any climb is pleasant and leisurely. You can go with tennis shoes and shorts up to about 15,000 feet, but then you get to the snow line. You camp right at the edge between some rocks and a hard place and a cold place. Early in the morning, you get some new ice equipment and you head for the summit. In the mountain of life, you have today reached the snow line and you're about to get some very good equipment, a Texas A&M degree to head for the summit of success. As you make your way to the top, keep in mind that what truly matters in the long run is not what is on you, but rather what is in you. It is not the cosmetic aspects, but the enduring traits. Not what is outside the skeleton, but rather what is inside of it, your guts, your heart, and your brain. Yes, the drive from within your guts is the first key to accomplish the goals that you set for yourself today. The road that you travel is not determined by momentous decisions, but rather by small steps taken at critical junctures. I cannot describe to you the many instances in which a different move would have led me to a quiet business or international bureaucracy position. It is the small and gutsy calls that you make in life that are truly important. And it is the gutsy will to overcome adversity that determines how far up the mountain you will climb. I have learned much more in the quiet loneliness of a losing locker room, be it sports, business, or political campaigns, than in the loud roaring of a winning locker room. It is absorbing the blows from adversity and having the guts to keep on going that will truly test you. I will certainly live to regret many mistakes I have made and will continue to make. But I decided a long time ago that I will never regret not trying, but I will never feel remorse for staying on the sidelines. The drive from your guts must have 2 companions. First, the compassion and ethics from deep within your heart and soul. You have been blessed with a fine education. You will, I am sure, take care of yourself and your families in the future. A human being should do that, but you must find it within your heart to help and give to others less fortunate. I have found that in my country, public service is the best way to do that, and it is the true essence of politics. I'm not suggesting you do the same, I'm merely suggesting that you will not be complete if you dedicate your life to just serve yourself without dedicating a portion of it to serve and help your fellow man. The second companion is imagination from your brain, the ability to visualize the road ahead and not live fixated in the rear-view mirror of life. The ability to dream, but not at night. That's for the sleepy people. The ability to dream, those true dreams, are those that you have during the day with a schedule to make them happen. Remember, if things look the same to you in the year 2010 than they did in 2005, it is simply because you're traveling through flatlands. You are not climbing. Imagine a different road, a different way, and find your mountain. The lack of imagination is the only thing that stands between you and your most successful future. Your challenge is to firm up what is inside your skeleton, to get your guts in gear, open your heart, and unleash your imagination. Do that, have a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and get ready to face the 21st century. Let me finally tell you that my father had the good sense of sending all three of his boys to Texas A&M. I am here with Luis Quiroga, finance major, class of '89. The third Aggie in my family was Mauricio Quiroga, industrial engineering major, class of '88. He's not here today. In September of 1997, 53 days after I got sworn in as Vice President of Bolivia, he, his wife, and oldest daughter passed away in a very tragic car wreck. That is why when I'm climbing and I feel my legs getting weary and I feel the will weakening, I do two things. I look back at my roots to regain strength, and I look up at my Aggie in the sky for inspiration. So when the climbing gets difficult and you feel ready to give up, I suggest you do the same. Look up for inspiration and look back at where it all started, to your wonderful years here at Texas A&M, to put yourself on track again. And if you get to the top of where you're going, don't despair. After all, life is not just a mountain. It is a series of them. Just find another one and always, always keep on climbing. Congratulations, fellow graduating Aggies, Gigamags, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. It is now my pleasure to ask the Texas A&M University Executive Vice President and Provost, Dr. Ronald G. Douglas, to come forward.
It is my privilege now to ask all of the candidates for degrees to please rise.